Oh, listen, we've got breaking news, and we are going to discuss that. And as you see, look, here is the crowd here in Omaha, Nebraska, where in 1981, only 12 people showed up to the shareholder meeting. Today, guess what? 40,000 are coming, and you can imagine that people are wanting to hear Warren Buffett's views, not just on investing, but also on politics. Good thing we've got the top Republican in the entire state. In a Fox Business exclusive, we're joined by Governor Pete Ricketts. Welcome, and thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Welcome to Nebraska.
You know, we're going to split the screen here because we've got a really tense situation in California right now going on at the GOP discussion and luncheon, and suddenly it seems that there is such tension swirling around the Republican Party. Donald Trump, of course, is certainly somebody who is polarizing. And looking at your party right now, is this the party that you'd like to see as far as Republican attitude is concerned?
Well, I think one of the things we got to remember is this is a contested primary. I went through a contested primary, so they're always tough competitions. I think the other thing is that, you know, at the end of the day, when we have a nominee, we all got to come together. You know, we need somebody like a Ronald Reagan who really broadens the tent, pulls people together, and that's what I'm looking for in a nominee.
Well, you guys are a week and a half away from the Nebraska primary. I believe, what, 36 delegates at stake here?
Yes, that's correct.
It's a Republican-only primary, folks. So, you know, where do you feel the state of Nebraska is going, at least on the Republican side?
Well, I think it's going to be a tough competition between Senator Cruz and Donald Trump. And again, I don't know how that's all going to turn out because it's going to be very contested.
Well, when you were running for governor, Senator Ted Cruz did make an appearance at one of your events. Is that correct? Have you?
Yes, he did.
Are you prepared to endorse him or any of the other two remaining candidates?
Well, I haven't endorsed anybody yet, but as you mentioned, there's still a week and a half left to go.
You know, you have such a positive and kind attitude here, but our viewers definitely are savvy as far as politics are concerned. Donald Trump, in a way, had taken on your parents after they had put in about $3 million. Joe and Marlene, your parents, Ricketts, founders of TD Ameritrade. We love TD Ameritrade. And, you know, he was saying some rather negative things about your family in response. Could you still, if he is the nominee, vote for him?
Yeah, the Republican Party stands for ideals about increasing opportunity, and that's why I will support the nominee, because we're looking to really unleash that full potential here in America, and that's really what those Republican ideals are about. And that's why whoever our nominee is, we're going to get behind that person and help retake the White House.
Okay, this is news. So even if it's Donald Trump, you, Pete Ricketts,
I'm going to be behind the nominee.
You will be behind the nominee, yes, even if it's Donald Trump. Well, looking at what the economy is doing, it's very important to point out to our viewers that the unemployment rate here in Nebraska is 3%.
3%, yeah. We've got the fourth lowest unemployment in the country. We're one of the top 10 healthiest states, one of the top 10 states for volunteerism. We've got the best place in the world right here in Nebraska.
Best place in the world, you say. Listen, I've been 16 times to Nebraska, but we're looking at an entire nation here, not just the state of Nebraska. What do you think is needed? You've got a guy like Warren Buffett who brings $44 million into the state from this shareholder meeting alone. There isn't a single other company that does that for a single other state. How important is Warren Buffett to the state of Nebraska?
Well, it's very important having this annual meeting here because it really allows us to highlight all the great things we got going on here in Nebraska. So we've got the best place in the world, and you mentioned the unemployment rate, all the great companies we have here. And this is really a chance for us to be able to highlight that. In fact, it's been estimated, for example, there's going to be 2,000 or 3,000 people coming from China to come to this annual convention, and that's a great way to open up the doors for foreign investment.
Yeah, in fact, this shareholder meeting tomorrow will be streaming live in both English and Mandarin, so the governor is absolutely right. We want to thank you so much on a very busy news day. But
thank you very much.
One last word about how you want the world to see the Republican Party as it's superimposed over things like protests and riots.
Well, again, I think that this is a contested primary. Contests are always tough. What we got to do is pull back together again and work on taking the White House.
Governor Pete Ricketts, Republican of Nebraska, in a Fox Business exclusive. We thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.